What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Back with another live stream today. Hopefully a more positive one than yesterday, man. We had to let off some steam yesterday, man. It was all going off. Apologies for being late, people. The microphone was ramping. I didn't want to start with some bad sound, so better to be late. Better late than never, as they say, lateness is greatness. Big up all of you in here, over 500 waiting already, man. Appreciate it. And big up to everyone for yesterday. Yesterday's video was record-breaking business. We had over 5K in the live. We had over 60,000 views. We hit 32K on the subscribers. You guys were legendary yesterday. So big up to all of you for that. You lot know we had a lot of steam to let off, man. Arsenal, they're putting us under a lot of pressure right now. But, we're here again. Big up to everyone in the comments. Hope you're well. People said dramatic late entrance. You know what I mean? When you're a big boy, you don't turn up to the party first. You leave all them to get there when the doors open. You turn up when the party's been running for 2 or 3 hours and make your dramatic late entrance. You know how it goes, people, But big up, can see all the familiar names in the chat. Live from the Eiffel Tower. Bonjour. Bonjour settings, people. PSG settings, man. I see that Messi is going to make his debut in 2 weeks. So you'll see, you might see me over there, man. I'm not joking. Arsenal, they can't sell their tickets right now. Let's break down the latest, people. Let's see what's going off in the world of Arsenal. Let me show you the latest information and news. What is going on with our two strikers, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexander Lacazette? Where are they? What is the situation? How comes we're not getting any information? We're having to listen to the press rather than hearing it, straight from Arsenal. Why are they not telling us? News came out last night, according to Sammy Mockbell of the Daily Mail. Arsenal's Premier League opener against Brentford was hours away from cancellation, with every member of the squad and staff forced to take COVID tests following a scare in the build-up. So obviously at the moment, Premier League footballers and staff members, they're taking 2 COVID tests a week. Just to make sure everything's all right. But apparently there was a little bit of a situation in the Arsenal camp on Friday. The Premier League requested that the club took extra tests. Now, I've heard a little bit of information, and I always say this. I don't like to start the whole ITK business. I haven't got no brother, no cousin, no uncles, sisters, niece, or whatever who works for Arsenal. But I've heard this morning. Now, whether this is definite or not, I've heard that Lacazette, apparently, they're saying they think he might have COVID. This is what I was hearing. But I was hearing that Aubameyang, they're not sure about him. They're not sure. Apparently, Aubameyang said he felt unwell and was pulled out of the squad. Now, what I would say is this, people. If you look at Mikel Arteta's interview where he's asked about the situation with these two. If I'm a manager and 2 of my players are ill and you ask me about it, I'm just going to say, yeah, unfortunately today, it's a big blow. We haven't got Lacazette. We haven't got Aubameyang. It's a big loss. He was a bit snappy with it. He was almost like, well, apparently they said they're ill. Have you got anything more to say? No. It was almost as if he was angry. Now, that's where a lot of people were like, is there more to this or not? I don't understand. It's a crazy one. Now, I understand what you're saying here. Aubameyang is very close to Lacazette, so maybe he is self-isolated. But he's trained with that team all week. I'm sure a defender marked him at some stage in the game. I'm sure, during training, they will have all been in close proximity throughout the week. So the fact that it's only Aubameyang is where a lot of people are like, it just seems like there's something else to this. Now, apparently, Reminiscing was the other player that came down feeling unwell. The thing what's strange is you just wonder why the club didn't announce it. Why have the club not said COVID? Then we would have all understood. Then we would have all been like, okay, there's no more debate. There's nothing else to talk about. It's COVID. The fact that they're sort of saying illness, even now, they're saying, oh, we don't expect them to play at the weekend. But tell us, we're the fans, at least we deserve an explanation. We deserve some honesty. One thing that I respected highly about Mikel Arteta when he first joined was the clarity, the honesty in his conversation. He had a clear plan. He knew how he wanted to do it. Now, it's turning into politician settings. They're ill. We deserve an explanation, because if I'm an Arsenal fan right now, which I am, for my sins, you're asking me to pay £85 for a ticket this weekend to go and watch Arsenal against Chelsea, right? And they're not even the best seats. The best seats are like £100. I at least want to know who's going to be on the pitch. And I want to know why they're not on the pitch if they're not there. If you're asking me to pay £85, I think we deserve that explanation. Now, if these two have got COVID or they've got symptoms of COVID, we hold our hands up. Of course, we know we're in a pandemic. We understand this is a fragile situation for everybody in the world. Football isn't bigger than life itself. But fans, if you're asking for 60,000 fans to come and pay their hard-earned cash, they deserve an explanation. Who is playing and why are these guys not playing? That's all we want to know, and we deserve that. But no, Arsenal, they feed us something else. They don't want to tell us if it's COVID. Surely by now they would have known that it was COVID. They had a COVID test on the Friday. So why have they not announced it? Are they trying to play games? Are they not trying to feed the news out there so Chelsea can plan for those two not playing? You know, sometimes managers, a player's injured and they won't feed it out to the press because they don't want the opposition to know they're going to be without those players. Paid £175 for alongside lower tiers like an idiot. Listen, you support your club. You do what you have to do. It's sad that the club are treating us like this and with this lack of respect. Like I said yesterday, people, 15,000 seats available at the Emirates. Apparently there was 20,000 yesterday. Over 15,000 seats available for a London derby against Chelsea. Unheard of. This game would have been sold out a week ago. So it shows that the fans are not happy with the situation, And I feel sorry for people like Irish paying £175. Jason said, how are you, Big C? Great stream yesterday. Arteta is a weird coach. I mean, listen, it's difficult, isn't it? Somebody put in the comments yesterday, and this just reminded me, Levan. They said, if you hire a clown, you end up with a circus. Now, it's semi-disrespectful, I understand that. But you know what I'm trying to say. We've hired somebody that is not capable of doing the job that we require. Now, I don't want to say the guy's a clown. I want to keep it respectful. But I don't believe he is up to the job in hand. I said myself on Friday, I'm beginning to feel sorry for Mikel Arteta. I'm beginning to feel sorry for him on a human level. Because the reality is, do I believe Mikel Arteta wants to succeed at Arsenal? 100%. Do I think he's trying his best? Yes, I do. I do think he's trying his best. I've seen him in some interviews and I say, oh, this guy's beginning to look stressed. I'm seeing grey hairs in the hair and everything. But at the same time, do I believe he's up to the job? No, I don't. I think he's out of his depth. I don't expect him to walk out. You're not going to walk out on a £12 million contract. Nobody's going to walk out on that. If he's going to leave the football club, they're going to have to sack him. It's as simple as that. Nobody would walk out on a Premier League contract as a manager when the club owes you millions of pounds. Tookie said, Curtis, if the company I work for made me the owner, then if I put them out of business because I'm not experienced, yeah, but that's what could happen. That's what could happen. He's getting screwed by this board. It's a balancing act at the moment, isn't it? We're not too sure as fans where the blame for this summer's debacle, because let's face it, this transfer window has been absolutely embarrassing. But we're not sure where the majority of that blame lays. Is this Stan Kroenke is not backing them and not giving them the money? Do they have an opportunity to get Madison and get these players, but the money's not there? Or is it Ed who's being given the money, but because of his lack of experience and quality as a technical director, he can't convince these players to come to us? Or does the blame lay with the manager? And in fact, you've got the money, but the targets you're going for are not good enough. And we're going to speak about some of those targets as we go through the show, people. Big up to Marcus. Hope you're well, my bro. Friend of mine from back in the day. Appreciate you becoming a member on the channel, bro. You know, it's tough being an Arsenal fan, innit? From back in the day, we've been going for it. But big up for becoming a member on the channel, bro. Much appreciated. Big up Fran in the chat as well. Manager all day to blame, money or no money. And big up Fran. Make sure you go and check out his channel. Me and him will be doing regular content. And you make a great point there. And I did this yesterday, and a lot of people sent me a lot of comments on that stream that we did yesterday. They said it was surprising the way that I was talking about Kroenke. Some people were surprised that it wasn't all out anger and frustration. And I said, listen, we had a situation this summer. We needed a centre-back, right? I believe we did need a centre-back. But we've just spent 50 million on Ben White. Now, I don't want to hammer Ben White because I think Ben White is a decent player. But would we not have been better off saying, right, William Saliba, you're my right-sided central defender, and that £50 million, if we're going to go to Brighton, give me Basuma. Now, my central defensive pairing, I've got Gabriel and Saliba. Inexperienced, but two very, high potential players. You can then spend that money in a position that you need even more, i.e. a central midfielder or an attacking midfielder. I would have rather seen Saliba and Gabriel at centre-back, Bissouma and Thomas Partey in centre midfield. I would have felt like we had a bit of a spine in our team there. Okay, inexperienced central defenders. Big up Broads in the comments as well. But at the same time, something to build on. We are still in a situation where we do not have a midfield partner for Thomas Partey. Granit Xhaka isn't good enough. So we're gonna leave this transfer window again and say we still need a central midfielder. We still need a midfielder. You have to point fingers at the manager. To me, as a manager, what you should do, you should put yourself in a position where it's clear that you're doing your best. And then we know it's their fault. It's Edu's fault. It's Stan Kroenke's fault. But the reality is, we played Brentford on Friday night. We played Callum Chambers at right back. Callum Chambers is a centre-back. He's a centre-back. Can he do a job at right back? Yeah, but what's his natural position? He is a centre-back. He is not a right-back. So you're playing a centre-back at right-back while you've got Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Hector Bellerin and Cedric on the bench, right? 3 players that can play right-back. You then take off your right-back in Chambers and you bring on Tavares, who is a natural left-back, to play him at right-back. So you played a centre-back right-back with 3 right-backs on the bench, then brought your left-back on at right-back. I mean, if this isn't sabotage, I don't know what is. Somebody needs to check Mikel Arteta's credit report. I'm telling you, we need clear score, Experian, because I believe he's in debt. I feel like he's trying to get sacked right now. The tactics are absolutely wild, people. They're crazy. He's not helping himself. Help yourself. Then we can say, do you know what? Mikel picked the best team. He set them up in the right way. They're just not good enough. Then we can say, Edu, Stan Kroenke, the blame lays with you. It's your fault. He's doing the best he can. But he's not helping himself. He's trying to be too clever. Now, let me say this. I said the other day, Mikel Arteta doesn't have a style. He doesn't have a style in the sense that we can't see what the style is. He has a style. He wants to play like Pep Guardiola. Now, I have no problem with that if you've got Pep Guardiola standard players or players that are comfortable in that role. But you cannot play champagne football with Lambrini footballers. Champagne lifestyle, lemonade money. This is Lambrini we're dealing with right now. This ain't champagne. You want champagne, but you can't afford it. So you have to find another way of playing. Eddie said it's the Lego style. I'm telling you, you can't play Pep Guardiola football with these players, so you have to find a different way of playing. He had a lot of success playing 3-4-3. We won the FA Cup playing that. A lot of fans at the time were unhappy with it because they said it wasn't attacking enough, which I get. And sometimes against some of the lower teams, you don't have to play like that. But I think Mikel Arteta, when we're playing against the bigger teams, he has to adjust. He has to adjust. He's doing what Arsene Wenger did towards the end of his reign. I'm going to play my way, open, expansive football, and I don't care how anybody sets up. And in the end, you just get picked off. I don't know about any other Arsenal fan. I am absolutely dreading the game this Sunday. Dreading it. Absolutely dreading it, people. I'm not looking forward to it one bit. I've got a ticket for it. I'm not going. I'm going to do a live stream, and I am dreading it. I might be hiding behind this chair. I saw Chelsea's team news today. Reece James, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Kante, Romelu Lukaku all return. All four of them return. If I'm Romelu Lukaku, I'm looking at my contract. I'm saying, right, 10 grand goal bonus. I'm already planning on what I'm buying next week. Right, so I'll probably get one or two. This ain't going to be pretty this weekend, people. I'm telling you that now. It is not going to be pretty. No Gabriel, no Thomas Partey, no Lacazette, no Aubameyang. They're bringing back Kante, James, Chilwell, and Lukaku makes his debut. I am dreading the game this Sunday. I feel sorry for any fan that has paid for a ticket. I feel sorry for any Arsenal fan who watches this game. If they surprise me and pull out a result, I'll be shocked. But I see nothing other than a negative result. Hit it in the channels, Mikel. Just turn them. Just turn them. We got to go back to basics. My Mike Bassett settings, just whack it in the corner. This game this weekend, it's like, for anyone who plays FIFA, it's like when you've just got a basic gold team at the start and a man's got 8 legends, 8 icons in his team. You just think, yo, man, let me just, you go 2-0 down, you just quit. When you quit the game on FIFA, you lose 3-0. You think, let me just get out of here at 3-0 and go again and take the coins. This is not pretty, people. And the crazy thing is, we beat Chelsea home and away last season, but we had organised teams on the pitch at the time. And the first game was Lampard's Chelsea at the same time. I'm worried, people. I'm worried. Pablo Mari and Ben White against Lukaku. And this is a better Lukaku than the one that left Manchester United. He is going to be so fired up for this. Ilya says, but Curtis, it's not even open, expansive football. Nowhere near Pep's style. In fact, it's closer to Mourinho's tactics at times, but without the counter-attack. The thing is, when you watch it, you can't see Pep's style of football because it doesn't even develop to that point. It actually doesn't get to the point where you can even resemble some Pep Guardiola football. Big up Guna Gossip TV. Hope you're well. Appreciate your support as always. It might be Baku Part 2. Baku was a unique game for me in that I turned an Arsenal game off before it finished. And I'm telling you now, I've hardly ever done that. I think I did that Liverpool away a few years ago when we got annihilated. I think we were 4-0 down at half-time. Years ago, Sturridge, Sterling, Suarez. Turned the game off at half-time. I think I've only ever done that twice. Baku, I turned the game off. Said, that's it, I'm done. I'm worried for this weekend. I am worried for this weekend. It's true what you're saying, Akeem. Big up Axe in the chat. Xhaka can't play Pep football. No chance. We've got to go back to basics. I think he's got to play free at the back. For me, at the moment, this team is built to play free at the back against the big teams. And I don't like playing free at the back because 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, you're effectively got 5 defenders on the pitch. But I don't think we can play 4 at the back against Chelsea this weekend. I would play... we haven't even got the centre-backs when I think about it. I'd probably go Tierney left centre-back. And you probably have to go Pablo Mari and Ben White in a 3. Ben White played in a 3 for Brighton. You can play maybe Saka and Maitland-Niles at wing-back. I mean, the problem is you've got to play Xhaka in midfield with Lokonga. And then play a front 3 of maybe... I mean, we haven't even got the options when I think about it. Martinelli, Pepe. We're going to probably have to play Balogun again. We're going to have to play Balogun. I mean, no, maybe Smith. Maybe play Smith-Rowe on the left, Martinelli through the middle, and Pepe on the right. I think that's the best that we could put out at the moment with the players we've got. Xhaka v Kante. I mean, yeah, the guy we should have signed versus the guy we did sign. Don't even get me started on Granit Xhaka, please. I still can't believe what's happened with him. Camille, big up for the super chat, bro. Said Arteta building a Lego car with bricks from a Lego house set. All good and fun, door and windows, but no effing wheels. Mate, he's got the ideas. There's no doubt he's got the ideas. The ideas are beautiful. But we all have great ideas. It's about putting them into context and making them happen. You have to have the players to make that happen. And at the moment, we certainly don't have the players. So it sounds as if the game was nearly called off. Premier League announced that the game could have been called off. And from an Arsenal point of view, I wish that game would have been called off because we clearly weren't ready for it. Go to a 3 at the back, I'm telling you. Viniak said, I would drop Mari for some games, play Holding instead. Mari looks shaky in all the matches this season. Playing 3 at the back is the go-to for now. Hope for the best. I feel too scared for the match at the weekend. I'm telling you, man, I'm not looking forward to it. Curtis for the protest. Don't protest Arteta out and protest Kroenke out. For me, I believe it's both. And you know what? I don't like doing this because, like, talking in this manner because I don't want to see our manager get sacked. I don't want to see a technical director get sacked. I like stability. I like Arsenal to have stability. People know what's what. But when something is not working and you're hanging on to it, I think sometimes you're doing more damage to that situation. I kind of feel like now, the longer Arteta is the Arsenal manager, the more damage that is being done for the next manager to take over. Because he's signing players that the next manager might not want. He's, you know, the confidence is getting worse. Rio Ferdinand did an interview. He said, listen, I understand that Arsenal had players missing. And if the performance level dropped, I can understand it. What you cannot understand is the lack of intensity, the lack of fight, the lack of, you know, sprinting around the pitch. It looked like easy work for Brentford. How can you come out the Championship, play against a team like Arsenal and just get easy work? Turn them over 2-0. It's not like the goalkeeper made 8 top quality saves with the post bar, missed a one-on-one. It was light work. It was light work for Brentford. But for me, Arteta, Edu, Vinay and the owner. But the problem is, like I said yesterday, people, it will take months, maybe a year or more to get rid of Stan Kroenke. He is in such a strong position. He owns 100% of the club. Unless you make him an offer more than what the club is worth, he ain't going to sell. The club's worth 2.1 billion. I believe it will take an offer around 2.5 billion to get that club out of his hands. And Daniel Ek offered 1.8 and 2 billion. He's not interested. To me, a better manager can get way more out of this team of players that we've got at the moment straight away. You've seen it happen in football. A team can be struggling. They sack the manager. Prime example last year, Chelsea. Frank Lampard, 8th, 9th in the league, struggling. Nothing's happening. Brought in Thomas Tuchel, win the Champions League. Didn't sign any new players. Got more out of the same group because the belief had gone in the manager that they had. Olympia said, big up Big C, love from Singapore. Listen to all your videos. Give me comfort from the horrible state of Arsenal. Listen. The thing is, and I want to put this out there to everyone, right? We're all in a situation right now as Arsenal fans where it feels so bad. It feels like you can't see any light at the end of the tunnel. There can be light at the end of this tunnel, but we need change. We need change at this football club. Now, for me, as I said yesterday, Liverpool operate in a similar way to Arsenal, self-sustaining model. They spend what they earn. They have an incredible technical director and chief negotiator in Michael Edwards. He's one of the best in the world. They sell high, buy low. We're the opposite. We sell low, buy high. How does that work? You can't self-sustain when you do that. You're supposed to sell them when they're worth a lot. Now, I spoke about it yesterday, and I hate to repeat it for anybody who was in the chat yesterday. When you don't have the money of Manchester City and Chelsea, you have to be smart in the market. You have to cherry pick. I said yesterday, this is a buyer's market. If you have money in this transfer window, you can go and get quality players at a reduced price. There is financial difficulties all around world football because of the pandemic. Real Madrid are in debt. Barcelona are over $1 billion in debt. They're on the verge of bankruptcy. They've taken $500 million out in a loan to save their club. They had to let Messi go on a free. The French league is in turmoil apart from PSG. Canal Plus dropped the deal. 750 million euros was pulled out of the French league. When Arsenal built their stadium, what happened to Arsenal nearly every summer? We got cherry-picked by everybody else because we were in a bad financial situation. We were trying to pay off a large debt and clubs cherry-picked, and there was nothing we could do about it. Samir Nasri, Man City. Fabregas, Barca. Clichy, Man City. Every year, Adebayor, Toure, Man City. Van Persie, Man United. Cherry pick. If you had money and you needed a player and that player was at Arsenal, you could come and get him offers. Because of our financial position, we couldn't stop it from happening. But when we become the one who can go and cherry pick, we're all meek and mild. Barcelona are throwing players out of the door. Just take them. Take them. You can go and get someone off them. Go and get Sergio Dest, the right back. If you want Coutinho, take him on loan. Don't buy him. Don't swap him for a player that we need. Go to France, Lille, Renato Sanchez, Jonathan David. You got Aouar at Lyon. These players that Arsenal can go and get. Arsenal should be able to go to Brighton and just take Basuma. Brighton are not a big club compared to Arsenal, no disrespect. But we go to Brighton and pay 50 million for a defender from them. A defender that most Brighton fans say is not even their best defender. Now, I understand why we went Ben White ahead of Lewis Dunk. Lewis Dunk is better defender. Ben White is better on the ball. He wanted a ball-playing centre-back. But we're not smart with our money. If you're going on a big night out this weekend and you've got no outfit, and you've got £500 in your pocket, you don't buy £500 jeans. You need a shirt and a pair of shoes. What are you going to do? Go out in your jeans and have no top on and go barefoot and say, listen, man, but these are some nice jeans. You know, it don't make sense. You need the whole outfit. Spend 200 on the jeans, 150 on the... You know what I mean? These men got no sense. I don't get it. Big up Paul. He said, the issue is we don't use the middle of the pitch and the wingers are too wide. We should be closer to the striker. Until that changes, we're not scoring. You make a fantastic point there. Do Arsenal only know how to attack down the sides? We literally... Our tactic against Brentford was... give the ball to Kieran Tierney and just whip it in and see what happens. That's all our tactics were. I remember going to watch Arsenal over the years. We were unbelievable through the middle. Fabregas, Wilshere, Cazorla. Remember them little 1-2s? We were one of the best teams at playing through the middle. Now all we can do is play down the sides. And it doesn't work. It's not like we've got a 6'5" target man who wins every header. So we're putting crosses into nobody effectively. You know? Everybody, Camille Big Up Bro said everybody would happily trust the progress, not this. That's all we wanted to see. That's all we wanted to see. Mikel Arteta effectively had a free hit last season. There was no fans in the stadium. He had a stinker of a season in the Prem. Finished 8th, but because of no fans and because the board were not on his case, it was a free hit for him. So all he realistically needed to do was show some progress. Get that style of football. And this year we would have been ready to go. But because he stuck with the wrong players last year, Willians, and players like that. You wasted a year with them, man. So now your Reece Nelson is not nowhere further down the line. We still haven't got Saliba. You binned off Guendouzi. You didn't sign Matt Ryan. So you haven't used that that could have been a development year for Arsenal. Okay, we finished 8th. We didn't win anything. It was poor. But 4 of our players significantly improved. So this season, we're ready to go. We're still not ready to go. Ricky Arbula, big up bro with a super chat, said, big up Curtis. Kroenke and Arteta was a recipe for disaster since the start. Kroenke's have been a disaster as owners for years. You mix in a manager with no experience, difficult it would get better. 100%. My dad's a Liverpool fan. I've got a few close friends who are Liverpool fans. Nothing changed at Liverpool till they hired the right manager. It wasn't about the owners. The owners have been there. They needed the right manager. They were fiddling about with these silly managers. No disrespect to these managers. You know, they went for Roy Hodgson. They got Brendan. Brendan was close one year, but wasn't the right man. They said, we've got to get an elite manager. They went for Klopp. They paid the money. Clubs feel no way spending 20, 30 million on players who were bang average. How many times have we wasted 30 million on a player like Mustafi? But then we can't pay big wages for a manager who's one of the most important people at the football club. I said yesterday, Antonio Conte's wage demands are 300 grand a week. We're paying Mikel Arteta 110 grand a week. But we're paying Willian nearly 200 grand. So you sack Arteta, get rid of Willian, that's your Antonio Conte. Managers now are getting more than players because there are only a handful of top quality managers in world football. So for me, I don't see it as a financial issue. Arsenal should be paying the money for a top-class manager. If we're a giant of a football club, we need the people to be running it to be top quality. You can't afford Edu to be wasting your money. In between the settings, I'm telling you, these men are going clubbing in AstroTurfs with £500 jeans on, getting rejected. Yeah, mate, no trainers. No trainers. In between the settings, man. These men are wearing total 90s with some nice jeans. It don't make sense. These men don't know how to spend their money. Jonathan David's doing bits in France. Renato Sanchez had a fantastic Euros. We wanted him last summer for 50 million. You can get him for 25. You don't want to go anywhere near it. You don't want to go near it for some reason. Barca is like a pick a mix right now. Go in there, get your bag and just fill it up and take whatever you want. You can get most players off Barca right now. Maybe not a handful of their best players. They were trying to chuck Griezmann out. Obviously, we're not going to be able to afford him. Go and take who you want. Umtiti's there, although he's injury prone. Coutinho, although the contract. But there's players you can get from them. Real Madrid the same. They're chucking players out the door. I'm telling you, you've seen them man when you was younger, Fran. Them man who didn't know how to dress. Them man who look like they've just left PE and gone straight to the nightclub. Man's wearing AstroTurfs and Adidas Sambas. Remember, you always see them older, them man wear Adidas Sambas with jeans. Bro, I'm telling you, this is how Edu and Arteta are moving. I don't get it. They're moving mad. Sabitzer, 20 million. Pereira left West Brom, 17 million. If it makes sense, people, then Arsenal will not do it. That's where that saying comes from. Anything that looks sensible on paper to Arsenal run away from it. They absolutely run away from it, people. Run away from it. Happy hour at Barca. Go and enjoy yourself. Buy one, you get one free. Buy Coutinho, you get Pjanic for free, but they don't want it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're the answer, by the way, but come on. These men are chucking players out of the door. Surely Barcelona have got players that we would take at Arsenal. We just finished 8th in the Premier League. Do you know what I'm saying? These guys don't use their connections. When we use our connections, we end up getting Willian on a 3-year deal. You don't want to use them connections. Oh, man. Renat said, Big C, please give a call to Zidane. Bring him to the Emirates. Your French is perfect. Hey, oui. Zidane. Listen, if Zidane came to the Emirates, he might have to put his boots on. Never mind manager. He's better than some of the creativity we've got, even in his 40s, Them Sambas, man. When man was wearing Sambas with jeans, bruv, them man there, I stay far away from them man there, Them man are dangerous. Them ones, I don't understand them mindsets. Boot cuts and Pumas, yeah, them. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to stay away from, man, wearing them. Them Lonsdale things out of Sports Direct. I stay far away from them, man. You know what I mean? You can't trust them, man. Zidane better than Granit, I'm telling you. Zidane would be better than Granit right now in the middle. David said, from David, the Forest fan, I just watched the Thierry Henry biography, inspiring. What a player, the best of the best. He was Mr. Vavavoom. And you know what? Why you remind me? Thierry Henry's birthday today, people. Thierry Henry, we'll think back to better times and reminisce for a little bit. Thierry, for me, I would say the greatest player to ever play in the Premier League. I know some Man United fans throw out the Cristiano Ronaldo debate, but Ronaldo didn't achieve what Henry achieved in the Premier League. If we're talking straight Premier League, you know, this guy was simply the best footballer I have ever seen in an Arsenal shirt. And how have we gone from players like that to the players that we're dealing with now? And not just the players, the philosophy. Look at this guy slapping the badge. Look at the passion. Look at the record this guy's got, you know, 2 Premier Leagues, 2 FA Cups, 2 Copa del Rey, or 1 Copa del Rey, Champions League, Euros, World Cup, 2 Player of the Years, 4 Golden Boots, 5 UEFA Team of the Years, 2 European Golden Boots, man. How has it gone from that? History Channel settings. I have become the Liverpool fans I used to take the mick out of. Growing up, I used to argue with Liverpool fans and they used to start talking about the past. I say, bro, how come you, man, just talk about history all the time? What about your team now? I am now that same fan. When I debate with my friends, Man United fans go, Arsenal, you lot are rubbish, blah, blah, blah. I go, yeah, but you ain't never been invincible. Thierry Henry's better than anyone you've ever had. They're like, yeah, but you just lost to Brentford, so you ain't never had Thierry Henry. You ain't had Patrick Vieira. You know what I mean? Where's your gold Premier League? And that's all I've got right now, people. In a debate, what else have I got apart from that? That's all I've got to lean on right now. The history. We're basically the History Channel right now. Thierry had me running around, mate, in vapors, socks above the knees. He's even got his own finish. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Everyone knows that. What was your goal like? Yeah, I scored on Saturday. What was your goal like? Oh, I did the Henry finish. Everyone knows what finish that is, mate. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Open your body up. Just finesse it into that far corner. And you lot are so legit, you know. I've just noticed. Draxler is trending. Now, when Draxler trends, I start to worry because I'm actually going to click. I hope this ain't Arsenal links. Congrats to Draxler for befriending the cool kids at PSG. No, we're safe. We're not getting him. I think he signed a new contract as well. But that's all we got, people. History. Henry had me wearing the gloves, pulling the socks above my knees. Thierry and Arsene got us into this mess. Hey, behave yourself. Don't ever blame Thierry Henry for any of this. You know what I mean? He kept us away from it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Ronaldo. But listen, you could put a similar picture up to Ryan Giggs. Your list would cover this whole screen. It doesn't mean he's better than him. Thierry Henry won the Golden Boot 4 years. You know, Ronaldo wasn't banging in all of these years at United. You know, the first couple of years when Ronaldo was at United, he was a pony, show pony, man. Towards the end, he got better and better. Henry, the longevity in the Prem. Can't be questioned. Can't be questioned. I'm telling you, I'm moving like Ty. Invincibles. That's all we got left. Ian Beale settings, man. I've got nothing left. From the pure sublime of greatness and beauty of Thierry Henry, I'm about to bring you down, crashing down with a reality check, people. Forget reminiscing over players like this behind me on the History Channel and the beauty of King Henry. Happy birthday to Thierry Henry, by the way. You gave me some of my greatest ever moments as an Arsenal fan. The best player I ever seen at Arsenal. The time that summed it up the most, I went to the Emirates. Arsenal against Manchester United. Super Sunday. I remember paying quite a lot for the ticket. And I was young at the time, so these monies were more back then. And you'll remember this game. Wayne Rooney puts Manchester United 1-0 up. And I'm just watching Henry the whole game because I'm just on focusing on him because he was my favourite player. And I'm watching Henry and he's walking around the pitch. And when the pass doesn't go to him, he's throwing his arms up. And I'm thinking, Thierry, what you doing? I've travelled all the way down here, spent my money on this, and you're walking around the pitch. We're losing. Rooney's sliding off on his knees. I'm hammering him. You're a disgrace. You're lazy, blah, blah, blah. Van Persie equalises back post for Arsenal. This is when he was at Arsenal. Breaks his ankle scoring the goal, comes off injured. So I'm like, all right, I'll take 1-1. At least we didn't lose. 90th minute, you'll remember, people. Aboué, Thomas Rosicky, little 1-2, past Thomas Evra. Aboué puts the peach in. Henry drops the shoulder on Ferdinand, heads it in the top corner past Van der Sar, runs off like that. Henry just used to run off like. And I'm like, do you know what, mate? You are something else. You're just something else. And I remember after the game, Arsene Wenger did an interview. Like, I'm smiling in my head right now, just reminiscing about it. The great times, man, just bring them back. And I remember Arsene Wenger after the game, and he said, Thierry, right, he's such a good player that you can mark him out of a game for 89 minutes. Even 89 minutes and 50 seconds. But if you switch off for 2-3 seconds, this guy will take the game away from you. And I thought, what a player this guy is. He's actually done nothing for the whole game. He scored the winner and they gave him man of the match. And I just couldn't believe it. I remember thinking, this guy's done nothing. But as a striker, I'm like, so what? He scored the winning goal. He'll have all the headlines. They'll give him man of the match. He's holding up champagne after the game. And I just thought, what a player. What a player you are, mate. In a game you've done nothing, you've scored the winner in such a big game as well. Anne said, Arsenal season starts the 11th of September against Norwich. The next 2 games are complete write-offs, Cat D settings. Yo, and I'm telling you, this is pre-season. Arsenal are still in pre-season. Man City and Chelsea are just warm-up games. We might as well go back to the Mind series and just play 2 more games. You're absolutely bang on. It's international break after that. Bugs Lee said, I was at that game too. Epic scenes. Bro, me and my friend went to that game. I remember when Henry scored that header, I woke up, I literally, by the time my eyes opened properly, I was on a different chair. I had arms on me. It was all this was going off. It was mad. Man United fans was walking out the ground. I was like, yo, this moment, like it don't matter how much, them moments are priceless. We ain't got them moments right now. Do you know what I'm saying? We're going through different moments right now. It's all mad. I don't know where we're at. Out of my mind games. You know what I mean? Not mind series. We're out of our mind right now. So I don't know what's going off. But hey, nice little. I had to reminisce there, man. I have to enjoy that. Inter as well, man, when he just made Zanetti look like a mug, slowed him down, then just shifted him. You know what? I might have to do a Thierry Henry stream. We'll just reminisce over the good times, man. The Wenger stream's coming, man. I promise you. I've done you all with that, Anna. I will get it done, though. Hey, the remedies, man. Listen, as I said, I'm about to take you from the sublime to the ridiculous, people. From Thierry Henry, last-minute winners. We're not there anymore. Who would have thought back then? When was that? 06, 07? Henry, last-minute winner against Manchester United. We'd be right here, right now, people. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to just take in what I'm showing you on the screen. I'll come back to you in 5 seconds. There you go. Right, we're back. Arsenal are once again pushing to sign Aaron Ramsdale. Like, they just won't leave this alone, will they? Like, why? Take the hint. It's not meant to be. None of the fans want it, but they're desperate for it. Why will they not leave this alone? Talks have reopened and there is a renewed confidence a deal can be done before the end of the window. Potential deal is likely to be 20 million plus add-ons, with Sheffield United keen to sell the goalkeeper this summer. We've gone from Thierry Henry to Aaron Ramsdale. Now, if you was giving me Aaron Ramsdale for £6 million, I'd say cool. Young English, backup goalkeeper, not too bothered. But when you've spent the best part of 2 months pursuing him, you're telling me 20 million plus add-ons, apparently 5 million in add-ons. So you're in a window that we are struggling to get players in. You're going to spend £25 million on Aaron Ramsdale. Like, I'm sorry, people, but what on earth is going on? If your mum sent you to the shop when you were a kid to go and get some milk and she gave you the card and you spent £25 and you still didn't get the milk, you're going to be in problems when you get back home. I sent you to the shop for milk and you've come back with a PlayStation game. It was probably PS1 them days when I was a kid. PS1, PS2. Imagine your mum sending you to the shop and you come back with Pro Evolution Soccer. It probably wasn't even FIFA. You come back with Pro Evo. You're getting licks. Arsenal just waste their money. They don't even buy what they need. You need some proper things, bro. You need your stuff. What are you doing? Why are you spending so much money on something that's not even good? A year ago, we sold, I'm sorry to say his name. You know people get very upset. We sold Emi Martinez for £20 million. He went and got 15 clean sheets at Villa and won the Copa America. A year later, you're about to pay £25 million for a goalkeeper that's not even half as good as him. While the goalkeeper that you picked ahead of Emi Martinez, Leno, doesn't want to sign a new contract because he wants to play in Europe. These men are going to the shop and wasting their money on things they don't even need. I told you to go and get the milk. The milk was the right back that we need. I told you to go and get the bread. The bread is the centre midfielder that we need to play next to Thomas Partey. I told you to get some rice, which is the attacking midfielder that we need to create the chances for Aubameyang. You've come back with a PlayStation game and a bag of sweets that are going to rot your teeth. This is the recruitment that we're dealing with. These men don't even know what they need in their house. Edu and Mikel Arteta. Remember when you used to buy, you reminded me, you used to buy the PlayStation magazine with a demo on the front. These men don't, you've gone to shop, you know, when your mum used to write the list on paper, get me a bread, a milk, a tuna, a rice. You've come back with fruit pastels, wine gums, and a PlayStation magazine that cost about £8. You're grounded. You ain't going out for the next week. This is how these men are moving. The shopping list was in your pocket and you came back with everything else. And now your mum's got to go shop and buy the milk. So you're grounded for a week. Oh, my days. This club, man, there's something else. There's something else. No Arsenal fan has turned around to me and said, I want Aaron Ramsdale. No one wants Aaron Ramsdale. The guys had back-to-back relegations. Look at the key thing here. Sheffield United are keen to sell the goalkeeper. 3 weeks ago, they were rejecting offers saying they didn't want to sell him. They've had a good look at him in pre-season and said, you know what? When Arsenal come back, take their money off them. Because we know they're silly enough to come back. Take their money off them. Right? They were talking about 30 million the other week. Now we're getting in for 20 million plus add-ons. They've had a good look at him in pre-season, said, listen, you know, next time Edu calls you, get the deal done. Get the deal done. Don't even mess around. I don't care how they pay it. Just take their money off them. Even said, I hate to say this, but relegation is the only thing that will make KSE sell up. As long as they profit, nothing changes. Will get worse. I mean, listen, relegation, we can't have that happen, but it probably does need to get worse. Yo, you're getting some licks. You come back with them sweets. Where's the milk? You ain't going nowhere when your friend knocks on the door. Didn't even get the fairy liquid. Can't even clean the dishes, bro. You're moving mad. Yeah, you know people. That's why you're laughing, innit? You've all had that feeling when you've been grounded. You ain't going nowhere this week. All your friends are outside playing football, but you've been messing around. You come back with the magazines with a free toy. Yeah, we used to think, innit? Yo, if I buy that magazine, I get that free toy. You don't realize that toy's worth about 20p and you've paid £6 for the magazine. It's mad, isn't it? But listen, Arsenal, please. And you know the thing, and I said this, you know when we went in for Nuno Tavares and all the dog stories were going around, I said, you know what's going to happen, don't you? This is the deal that Arsenal are going to complete. Because it's a banter story. Because it's a banter story, Arsenal will get that one done. And we're right back there again, people. This is the banter story. You look around Europe, there's goalkeepers everywhere that can get bought right now. Areola, French international, goes West Ham on loan. 12 million option to buy in a year. Sam Johnston, they want 10 to 15 million. Better goalkeeper than Ramsdale, homegrown. Matt Ryan's agent come out and said they approached Arsenal and Arsenal didn't want to do it. Okay, fair enough. They wanted an English keeper. There aren't that many good English keepers, so why are you so caught up on getting an English goalkeeper? Onana is difficult because he's banned until November, so there's still an element of risk. If Leno gets injured, you're back to square one. But there are keepers left, right and centre that you could go around and buy. And for 25 million, this is the best you're going to deliver me. If you'd have told me at the start of the summer, Arsenal will spend 75 million on Ben White and Aaron Ramsdale, I would have put the phone down. I would have turned off the screen. I would have gone for a walk to clear my head. And I said, no chance. That can't happen. Ben White's okay. He's worth 30 million. And Aaron Ramsdale, I don't want nothing to do with him. You're telling me, and this is what I'm saying, we can't always say, there's no money. We don't get no money. These men waste the money when the money is there. Canaris Gunners, big up with a super chat, bro, said Arsenal are preparing for life without European football. They're buying average players. We're on mid-table. But when you don't want to remain mid-table, you should buy players that can elevate you back to where you want to be. But they don't do it. They're like, right, we're mid-table, so let's buy a mid-table goalkeeper. For 25 million, I don't see him being a backup. I think they're bringing him in to challenge Leno. I think you'll see them being rotated. Leonid said, bro, I effing love this guy's analogies. I'm glad I found it. Hey, listen, people, I haven't even seen it. We've got over 3,100 people in the live chat. Make sure you smash the like. Like I said, thank you very much for yesterday. It was an epic stream. Go and check that one out after this. We got over 60,000 views, over 3,000 likes, and we went past 32,000 subscribers. So thank you very much. Big up to all of you today for joining me again. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Jake said, I've been there, no TV. We all been there, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Go and get the belt. Man need to get licks. Nick Pope is miles better than this fraud Ramsdale. Pull up for the numbers, everyone. Big up, Fran. Leno is crumbling. I think he knows he ain't no longer number one. I think Leno has reached a point where Leno's thinking. He was at Leverkusen, who are quite a big team in Germany. Not the biggest, not Dortmund or Bayern, but outside of that, they're fairly big. He took that chance to leave, come to the Premier League. This is supposed to be your big move that elevates you. And he's thinking, as much as I don't think Leno is that good, from his point of view, he's sitting there thinking, this Arsenal team's going nowhere. Got 2 years left on my deal. By next year, with a year to go, a few bigger clubs might come in for him because, you know, Neuer's getting older in Germany. There are other keepers out there. I think he was at the Euros with Germany as well, second or third choice. He's thinking with a year, I might be able to get a move, you know? Get Ben Foster with the GoPro. I mean, it would make good coverage, that's for sure. Big up Richard, he said, big up Big C, classic lyrics, mate. I'm telling you, Arsenal, they just feed you content every day. Robert said it's like the film Trading Places at Arsenal. Arteta and Pep bet a pound he can ruin Arsenal. Listen, I've watched that film so many times. I'm a massive Eddie Murphy fan. So I know all about them. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. Listen, I said... I think Pep sent Arteta here to finish us off. Pep said, listen, let me just make sure Arsenal never recover. I got a job for you, Mikel, mate. You need to go and be their manager and make sure they never, ever get anywhere near Manchester City. And he's duly obliged. Because the thing is, you know, when Mikel Arteta gets sacked, how much are you betting within a few weeks he'll have a holiday or relax? He'll take his pay up for 6 months. And I bet you he goes back to Manchester City as a coach. He'll go right back there and act like nothing ever happened after coming and destroying us for 2.5 years. Orange juice stocks equal Arsenal, bro. I'm telling you, we're moving mad right now. Eddie Murphy settings, bro. But anyway, Aaron Ramsdale, people, get yourself ready. That deal, in my opinion, is going to happen. So I said this with Nuno Tavares. This deal is gonna happen. They've spent all summer trying to get him. They haven't gone for anyone else, really. It seems like Sheffield United all of a sudden have said, you can have him. Because 2 weeks ago, I was reading they want 30 million for him. Now I'm reading 20 plus add-ons and they're keen to do it. They've probably looked at him in pre-season in the Championship and thought, you know what? This guy is actually a Championship level goalkeeper. We'll snap their hands off at 20 million. So I'm worried about that one, people. So brace yourselves for the Aaron Ramsdale announcement video when we sign him, because I'm gonna be running jokes that night. Let me tell you that. It might be a stand-up comedy, you know, much like the Granit Xhaka new contract that we're all having to put up with at the moment. Big C, I would bite your hand off at Emery. Oh my days, it's crazy, isn't it? It gets to a point where you have to start looking at it and saying, Arsenal are the problem. How come Emery came here? He was very close to achieving his goals. He didn't. He flopped it at the end. But how come he goes and wins Europa Leagues at Villarreal? You know, we had our best Premier League season since Arsene Wenger left under Unai Emery. He got us to the Europa League final. Now, you don't get nothing for second place. Let's not pretend he won anything. But considering the backing he got in that first summer, it was remarkable what he was doing in that first year. They gave him Lichtsteiner, Socrates, Torreira. I think he got Guendouzi. Like that summer transfer window was horrific. Lichtsteiner was like an old man. I can't believe he even got us to the Europa League final. Obviously, we didn't get there in the end. But it's amazing that Emery finished 5th, got to the Europa League final, and was sacked. Casually, first little bad run he had, get rid of him, done, we're not having him. Mikel Arteta can give us back-to-back 8ths, and we've got to be patient. You're telling us to be patient now. We've gone backwards. All right, won the FA Cup, great. Wigan won an FA Cup and got relegated. Do you know what I'm saying? Louis van Gaal won the FA Cup and Man United got sacked. Antonio Conte won the FA Cup and got sacked. Because the biggest clubs in this country do not consider the FA Cup enough if you've had a bad league season. This was always my point with Mikel Arteta. When he won the FA Cup, I said, that I will tell you how big that FA Cup win is next season. I used to argue with Robbie, all of them. They say, FA Cup, amazing. He's won a trophy. Yeah, great. And I was as happy as anybody. But I said, I will tell you how significant that FA Cup win is next season. And next season, nothing happened. So all that FA Cup is now is a distant memory. Oh, yeah, I remember when we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup final. We had a great day. And that's the end of it. It got us in Europe for the next season. So we should have built on it. But we didn't build on it. We sat there, didn't buy enough players. While Chelsea blew 220 million last summer and won the Champions League, we spent 70 odd million, which is nowhere near enough to make up the amount of ground that we needed to make up. We've spent 75 million pounds on our team squad this season. And I'm not sure if any of those three improve our team, without being disrespectful. Sambi looks decent, but I'll tell you how good I think he is in 15 games. Ben White at the moment, I can't say he's any better than what we've got. I think he is better, but he might not look better in this team. And we're about to spend 25 on Aaron Ramsdale. So we will have spent 100 million on Nuno Tavares, the second choice left back of Benfica, Sambi Lokonga, a young player from Belgium that 6 months ago hardly any of us had heard of. 50 million on Ben White, who I believe is a good player, but probably at the moment we're not sure whether he's the guy that we needed in defence. And 25 million on a relegated goalkeeper at Sheffield United. 100 million. Now, I'm sorry, but if I'm Kroenke, I'm sacking people. I'm saying, what on earth is happening? If you spend 100 million, you're supposed to see significant improvements in your team for 100 million. For 100 million, we could have probably got Basuma for 40 odd, or we could have signed Aouar for 25. Max Aarons is 25. We could have signed Areola on loan, Max Aarons for 25, Basuma for 40, 50. That's 75 million. And probably you could pick up Aouar for 25, 100 million. Imagine 100 million. You got Areola, Aarons, Basuma, and Aouar, or Sabitzer, as you're saying. That's 100 million. Arsenal's 100 million is Tavares, Lokonga, Ben White, and Ramsdale. Oh my God. I'm not even sure if we're better. I'm not even sure if we're a better team. Maybe we was better with Matt Ryan, Martin Odegaard, David Luiz, and bringing Saliba back and not spending a penny. It's crazy. We're going to have to spend 200 million next year to make up for the 100 million that we've wasted this year. It's crazy. Onside said, Curtis, this is prize content. Well done. Hey, big up, man. Thank you very much. Listen, the content's only as good as the support that I get from all of you. You lot are the legends of the channel, you know. I feed off the energy you lot give me. I appreciate your kind donation, Onside. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't, people. Ramsdale got relegated with Chesterfield. He's already gone down 3 times. Aaron Ramsdale for £25 million, people. Like I said, if we were buying him for 6 million, I would say not bad. Backup goalkeeper, 23, English, 6 million, no problem. He's just a backup. We're spending 25 million on him. 25 million! It's crazy. These men complain that we don't spend money. When we've got money, we blow it. We absolutely just throw it away. They're crazy. What is their negotiation plan? What are the meetings? Have we signed one player that is improving our starting 11? This isn't about improving our squad. We didn't finish third and we just need to improve our squad a bit. We need 3 or 4 players that go into our starting 11 and improve us. That's what we desperately need. At the moment, I can't see it, people. Matthew said, wasted money, high contracts on average players, subpar tactics equals relegation battle. I'm telling you, bro. And we don't even look like we're moving away from that this summer. Every single Arsenal fan, no matter if you was completely 100% in favour of Mikel Arteta, whether you thought he was the wrong appointment, the fact remains we all want the best for Arsenal Football Club. If you've watched my content, you know over the months, I didn't think Mikel Arteta was the right appointment. I've called for bigger, more experienced managers to come in. But let's get something clear. If this guy does the business and Arsenal start flying and doing well, I'm more than happy to hold my hands up and eat humble pie and say, listen, this brother proved me wrong. He is a great elite young manager. And you lot was right. I don't care. I'll take that. I'll take that L. Because guess what? That L will be a W for our team. So, yeah, you lot can all say, you wanted Arteta out, but look how well our team's doing. I say, do you know what? I'll take all of the stick, all of the abuse that you lot want to give me. Because guess what? When I do a watch-along, I see our team winning games and playing great football. Even when we weren't winning trophies under Arsene Wenger, I was happy to pay that money to go and watch Arsenal on a Saturday because we were going to see entertaining football. Fabregas, Haleb, Cazorla. It was beautiful to watch. People came from around the world to watch that Arsenal team. When I used to go on holiday, What team do you support? Arsenal. Hey, you lot, you play great football. What do we play now, people? What would you call this style of football now? It is painful to watch. Big up Stephen Featley. Hope you're well, bro. He said, to sum it up, Curtis, we are officially effed. You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. I appreciate your donation. You are not wrong. That's where we're at right now. We're in a real mess, you know? And these man get money and waste it. It does not make sense. You cannot spend 100 million on Ben White, Ramsdale, Tavares, and Lokonga. Don't get me wrong. Lokonga looks half decent. Ben White, I think he's steady, but as I said yesterday, to me, it's a trifle. You're just chucking him into a trifle. I don't think it's easy for Ben White to come into this defence and thrive. I think it's very difficult for any player to come in and really do well in that back four at the moment. Having said that, we do have some players missing. Over 3K watching, mad numbers again. Get the likes up past 1K and subscribe, bro, to 40K. Big up South London's finest. Appreciate it, bro. What pro football club appoints a manager with no experience in managing? Only Arsenal. And especially not a club where the pressure and the demand is so high. If Mikel Arteta got the job at Southampton, Brighton, no disrespect to them clubs either, you would say they've taken a risk, but the pressure is not the same. The pressure at Arsenal is huge. You can see it on social media. We have a huge fan base. 17 million followers Arsenal have got on their Twitter account. We're worldwide. We're gigantic. He's under so much pressure. How was it supposed to ever work out for Arteta without sufficient backing? But when you are backed, do the business with the money. Jurgen Klopp was not backed in the early stages as much as we're being backed. He bought players like Wijnaldum from relegated Newcastle, Robertson from relegated Hull City. He bought Salah from Roma after people said he'd flopped at Chelsea. Mane from Southampton. When you're a big club but you're struggling, you're supposed to cherry pick from the lower clubs. Who have Brighton got that we can take off them? Okay, we'll take a Basuma. Who've Palace got? Maybe we take a Zaha or we go for a Eze. Who've they got? Because these players will still want to join Arsenal because you're still a giant compared to the clubs like that. Maybe you can't go to these big clubs now and take their players. You have to be smart with your money. Loz says we are basically flipping Willock into Ramsdale. Arteta and Edu are setting us back even further with these head-scratching decisions. Loz, you make a great point. When we sold Joe Willock, now we have to be honest, Joe Willock is unlucky to be sold by Arsenal because he probably deserves an opportunity in this Arsenal team. He's gone on loan and scored more goals than all of our midfielders put together and still can't get an opportunity to play in our team. He probably feels quite hard done by. But the reality is, he's not going to fit into Mikel Arteta's system. When we sold Joe Willock, I thought, okay, 25 million. We want James Madison for 65. We'll put 40 on top of that and go and buy Madison. What Arsenal have said is, we'll use that 25 to buy Ramsdale. I would have rather kept Joe Willock than bought Aaron Ramsdale. You've actually sold a player that is better than the player that you're buying. Please make that make sense to me, people. You've sold a goal-scoring midfielder, English, in his early 20s. If Joe Willock does well at Newcastle, he could get an England call-up. Now, I don't know how good Joe Willock is. Time will tell. It's all right doing it on loan for 6 months. You've got to produce for a season or more. But you don't sell Joe Willock and buy Ramsdale with the money. Come on, put that towards a proper signing. Big up Stephen Featley TV. Appreciate your super chat, bro. Said, we're not getting anyone else apart from Ramsdale. Why would anyone come to this ish? Big up, bro. I'm glad my Arsenal content gives me the positive of raising money for charity. Hey, big up, man. And listen, good luck with that. Hope it's all going well. I've met you a couple of times at the Emirates, actually. And I know you're a very, how shall I say, you're very strong with your opinions like myself. So listen, really appreciate your support on the channel. Big up Todd Miller. They play championship level football. Blue London. Listen, I can't deny it. I can't even argue with that. You know, when people jump in here and say, oh, you know, Chelsea, this, whatever. Chelsea just bought Romelu Lukaku for £97 million. One of the best goal-scoring strikers in the world at the moment. When you need to address an issue, you're supposed to address it properly if you're a big football club, right? We've said this before. When you buy cheap, you buy twice. Arsenal needed a striker for 5 years after they lost Robin van Persie. Instead of buying Gonzalo Higuain from Real Madrid, and then he went to Napoli, they didn't want to pay the money. They then had, I would say, an opportunity of a lifetime. They could have bought Luis Suarez. He was probably the best striker in the Premier League. But they went with 40 million and a pound, as you know. Instead of just offering 45, 50 million, getting the deal done. Arsenal would have won the title if they'd signed Suarez. But they didn't. They bought Giroud, Podolski, Lucas Perez, Danny Welbeck, and they didn't win a title. While Giroud went 15 games without scoring. 4 strikers. Those 4 put together would have got you Luis Suarez, would have got you Gonzalo Higuain, would have won you the title. You buy cheap, you buy twice. It's as simple as that. In the end, it took us years to buy a striker who was good enough, which was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but they only bought Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to replace Alexis Sanchez's goals. You needed Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to play next to Alexis Sanchez, while you had prime Mesut Ozil, prime Alexis Sanchez, prime Santi Cazorla. They fix one position when the other one is now, it's like, you've got a leak and you fix that one, but now there's another hole there. You needed Aubameyang with prime Mesut and prime Alexis. You bought Aubameyang when Alexis went. Now Aubameyang's fading. You've bought Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey needed to be in midfield when we had Santi Cazorla. It's crazy the way this football club operates and does business. They just don't help themselves. So this is why, even though I 100% believe that Kroenke needs to go, you have to ask big questions over the guys that are handling the money. Now, Kroenke hires them guys. So again, it does fall on him. But as I said yesterday, we need the right owners. Because Daniel Ek, to me, looks like that this was a PR stunt to get more people to get Spotify and put them shares up. Big up Philippe, he said, Arteta is suffering the same criticism as Wenger during his last years. Ljungberg and Emery, the common denominator, as are the players, can't polish turds. The problem we've got is that I agree with you can't polish a turd in the sense, right? But we've had enough opportunities to change it. Mikel Arteta has signed 12 players since he's been the manager. He's also given contracts out to, I think, 7 of these players now. So 19 of the players at the football club are there because of Mikel Arteta. If you've had 12 new signings, this is your squad now. He can't keep talking about Arsene Wenger and Unai Emery. This ain't Unai Emery's squad. This ain't Arsene Wenger's squad. Nearly all of that squad is gone. The ones that are still here from Arsene Wenger, he's had the opportunity to get rid of Granit Xhaka to Hertha Berlin. He could have sold him to Roma. He could have got rid of Hector Bellerin. He kept these players. So whilst I understand what you're saying, Arteta has had enough time to get those players out the door. Yeah, there may be a few players that he didn't buy that he needed to work with, but he still should have been able to work with what he had. And big up Stephen for becoming a member on the channel. Really appreciate it, bro. Hope everything's going well with your channel and, raising money for charity. Good luck with that. And appreciate you becoming a member. Look out for the extra content. RJ Moon said Lucas Perez, Arsenal legend. Do you know what? Another one I forgot to add was Jamie Vardy. Vardy wins the Golden Boot, wins the Prem. Arsenal go in for him and somehow don't get him. Dave said, Curtis, bless up, watching here from New York City. It's the same recycled news since the Wenger era. So not until we have serious ambitions, what big club possesses, it's more mediocrity. I mean, to me, and I said this yesterday, and I will say this again, you have to have a winner of a manager to install that philosophy into the players, into all the playing staff. It doesn't matter who your owner is. If you have a manager that wins, that demands that from the players, you can't get away with your nonsense. Kids only misbehave in a classroom if they know they can get away with it. If they know that teacher's a bit of a soft touch. We only turn up late for work when we know there ain't going to be no consequences because the owner or the boss ain't that on it. When you know, I might lose my job, you don't turn up late. When you know you're playing for a manager that demands it, that will get rid of you, where the standards have been moved high, you don't mess about. These guys are disrespecting Mikel Arteta. As much as I diss Mikel Arteta and say, I don't think he's good enough to be the Arsenal manager, the players are taking the mick out of him. Let's not hide away from that fact. The players are hiding behind Mikel Arteta. He's shielding all of them lot from the criticism. Some of these players should be embarrassed. Some of these players should never play for Arsenal Football Club ever again. Ever. Because they don't appreciate it. They feel like we're doing them a favour when they're not even good enough to play for us. But we've built them up to make them feel bigger than what they are. Despite Granit Xhaka failing at Arsenal for 5 seasons, we've rewarded him with a new 4-year contract worth £25 million. That's your reward for failure. They don't give you a gold medal when you finish 8th. You walk off and go home and try and train and come back harder. We're handing out gold medals for failure. Listen, Granit, the last 5 years have been pretty miserable, but there you go. There's 25 million. Because we can't replace you. Our philosophy is we can't replace you, so we'll keep you. Because we think it's worse that you run down your contract. Now, I said this yesterday. Is Granit Xhaka worth more than the £13 million, 15 million euros that Roma offered to us? No, he's not. No, he's not. And I'll tell you why. The owner doesn't dictate the price. The buyer dictates the price. When you buy crypto, you can't tell them how much that crypto is worth. You go on your app in the morning and you go, damn, Bitcoin's down at 30k. You don't tell them how much Bitcoin's going to be tomorrow. So Arsenal can tell us all Granit Xhaka's worth 20 million. But guess what? Nobody in world football wants to pay 20 million for it. So rip that up. He ain't worth 20 million. He's worth what the interested parties are willing to pay for him with 2 years left on his deal. And Roma said, take 15 million. And you're lucky you're even getting that. No one else wanted it. So you got a decision to make with Granit Xhaka. You either take 15 million, cut your losses and move on for a guy that is failing at the football club. You allow him to continue at the club with 2 years left on his contract and downgrade him to a squad player. Or you renew his contract to protect his value that nobody values him at. His contract's worth more than what a club is willing to pay for him. So if you couldn't sell Granit Xhaka with 2 years left on 100 grand a week, on the back of what some people say is his best season at Arsenal, and what some people tell me was a very good Euros for Switzerland, how on earth are you ever going to get more money for him? He turns 29 in September. We've just moved him from 100 grand to 120 grand. And he'll now have 4 years left on his deal. He's unsellable. He will see out that 4-year contract at Arsenal Football Club. He will not walk away from that contract. What footballer would? I don't blame him. He will go into his 30s and he will get worse. He will get slower, if he can get slower, and he will see out that contract. So, Arsenal, you don't tell the market how much Granit Xhaka's worth. The market tells you how much he's worth. They told you he was worth 15. You probably should have cut your losses and ran. Or you should have let him run down that contract and made him 4th choice midfielder. But you give him 120k for 4 years. And now the story is we're not going to buy another midfielder. So, we've gone from Basuma to Neves to Locatelli to Granit Xhaka for 4 more years. And Lokonga, who was signed as a squad player, we're now going to be starting this guy and expecting him to turn our midfield around. If it makes sense, people, Arsenal won't do it. It's as simple as that. Abdul said, I think Ramsdale is underrated, man. Trust me, wait and see. When I watched him, I was so impressed. Bro, honestly, I watched him play a number of times for Sheffield United, and I do not rate him. Not that good with his feet, not that commanding at taking crosses, half decent shot stopper. I can't say anything more than that. I believe they're just buying him because he's young and he's English. That's all I can give you. Big up Turkish. Hope you're well, my bro. Make sure you go and subscribe to Turkish's channel. I'm sure you have. Look out for the Big Six show. For me, one of the best shows on YouTube. Players are not good enough. Arteta's not good enough. Edu, I can see where you're going with this already. Edu, Vinay, Lord Harris of Peckham, Kroenke. Now, for me, everything you say there is true. You can't argue with any of that. Players aren't good enough. Arteta, all of them. You got to start changing that one by one. You got to chip away at it. Now, the problem we've got, we want Kroenke to go first, because if Kroenke goes, it then becomes a snowball effect. The ball then rolls down the hill and you knock over Edu, Arteta, Vinay and the players. The problem is he's the hardest one to get out because he has total control. So for me, we've almost got to do it the other way round. This is my opinion. I think you've got to get rid of Arteta and Edu. Because if I am Stan Kroenke, I'm sitting there going, whether I'm a football man or not, I'm losing money right now. This ain't like Arsenal in the Champions League where, okay, they finished fourth. They didn't win the league, but I made money. We made money this year. Arsenal are losing money for the first time in a long time. We're losing money under this ownership. Now, he will only let that continue for so long. So then, what is the answer? Does he invest money into this football club to try and make them successful? Or does he walk away? Because at the moment, Arsenal is just a commodity to Stan Kroenke. He just wants to say, I own Arsenal Football Club. I believe, and this is one of the big things for me, I don't believe Stan Kroenke will sell this football club for the next few years. And I hate to say this, and I tell you why. Stan Kroenke took out a huge, huge debt to build the stadium in America. It's one of the most expensive stadiums in the world. To get that kind of loan, he would have had to say, right, I own the Rams, I own Arsenal, this is my backup. If anything goes wrong, these are the commodities what I own. I think they would have said to him, while you're paying off those debts, you need to continue to own those businesses. So we know if you ever run into financial difficulty, you can always sell one of them to pay off this debt. If he sells Arsenal and effectively gets 2.5 billion, he can blow that. He could become bankrupt. So things could happen where he starts to lose money. When you owe the bank that much money, they don't want that. They're giving you that loan on the basis that, right, you own the Rams, you own Arsenal. Worst case scenario, you can sell one of them and pay that debt back. I don't believe Stan Kroenke would sell this football club unless someone offered him a fortune, an absolute fortune, more than what the club is worth. That's my opinion. But I agree with what you're saying. Listen, we have to put pressure on him. Listen, Rwandan president is speaking about the lack of ambition of Arsenal Football Club. How much more embarrassing does it need to get for this football club to wake up? You lose to Brentford. The president of Rwanda saying you lot need to fix up. Sponsors are probably taking a hit. They will only listen when the money gets affected, you know. $8 billion. Is that what the stadium cost? He took out a big, big loan for that, people. Sheffield United boss Slavica Jokanovic has confirmed Arsenal's interest in Aaron Ramsdale during today's press conference. Slavica Jokanovic said, naturally, Aaron wants to be in the Premier League. I am talking with him. He believes it can be a good move for himself. I understand Arsenal are interested, but this is business. It's going to happen, people. I'm sorry. I'm just preparing you, right? I'm preparing you all for the situation when Aaron Ramsdale signs and I do a welcome to Arsenal video with Aaron Ramsdale, mate, or some people are calling him Aaron Dingle in the chat. But hey, here's what it is. Ramsdale on his way to Arsenal. Let's move on. Let's talk about another player that I believe we're going to sign. Probably one of our 2 signings that I do think we will get done. One of them is Martin Odegaard. Dean Jones said, on Odegaard to Arsenal, there's the potential they can do a loan with Real Madrid. I'm told are open to it. Arteta absolutely loves him. Just take on his wages for the season, not a significant fee, and have the option to buy him next year. I mean, listen, taking Odegaard on loan with an option to buy is good business because it's a good player. And if you are not forced to spend the money on him, it allows you to spend the money elsewhere. The problem is Arsenal are spending the money on Aaron Ramsdale. Do you know what I mean? Big up James Redmond in the chat. No leaving his sacking until after the City game. Listen, Arsenal could be in a real mess after that City game. Chelsea and City the next 2. So if Arsenal can get him from Real Madrid, apparently Real Madrid initially were asking for 50 million. I'm now reading they want 34 million for him. But Odegaard on loan with an option, Arsenal will not walk away from that. That's got Arsenal written all over it because they love deals like that. They'll pay $1 million, $2 million to take him on loan. They'll pay his wages, which aren't that high, and they'll have an option to buy him next summer. It works. It's them all over. Is he the answer? I've said before and I'll say it again. I think Martin Odegaard is a good player. I think he's a talented player. I think if he played for Man City or Real Madrid, actually, someone like that, he would probably look very good. But in this Arsenal team, where you've got your Xhakas, your Bellerins, your El Nenis, your Nketiahs, who don't play pure football, I think at times Odegaard becomes a passenger in the Arsenal team. And that is not his fault. Certain players can only play in certain teams, certain systems. I don't think he's the answer. I really don't. I think we need a goal scoring number 10. We haven't had a goal scoring 10 for years, since Ozil's early years when he was banging goals in. I just don't think this guy is the answer. But on loan with an option to buy, Arsenal will be all over it. I understand it. Spend the money elsewhere. But not on Aaron Ramsdale, please. Curtis West Ham, he changed the game. I remember that game. Did a watch along. He was fantastic. The problem was this. West Ham never pressed him that game. West Ham's midfield. West Ham, remember that game? West Ham were 3-0 up at half time. When they pressed us in the first half, in fact, was it 3-1? 3-1, I think, at half time. I think Lacazette got a goal back just before half time. When they pressed us in that first half, they battered us. I remember that game. Lingard, they hammered us. Second half, they ran out of steam. When you give Odegaard time and space and you move around him, baller. When you press him, get in his face, make life difficult, Arsenal don't get the ball to him early, Arsenal don't have movement in front of him, we run into a problem. And this is my worry. We all watched Arsenal against Brentford. Does Odegaard make a big difference in that team? I don't know. I think the structure of the deal is why Arsenal are all over it, and I can understand. They will love it. On loan with an option to buy is so Arsenal. I think Odegaard is decent, but I won't be overly excited if we sign him. I got to be honest. Low Budget TV said right guard would do a better job. Man said right guard, not even Odegaard, you know. Odegaard can only play in that role, not very versatile. We'll push ESR out wide in order for him to play through the middle. I hear you on that. Curtis, we finished 12th and 15th in the last 2 seasons for chances created in the league. Odegaard is not the answer. We need a top-class cam. And listen, those are damning stats. Damning stats, people. Odegaard is Ozil 2.0, Curtis says Melbourne. Odegaard isn't the answer, says Lee. Odegaard is baby Ozil, said Sid. It's crazy. I mean, listen. Let's talk about the one I would go for. even though I think there are other options. The AFC Bell has tweeted, and this is what he had to say. He said, the last 2 weeks of the window will be hectic. Arsenal aim to sign James Madison, and if that is not possible, the ongoing talks with Real Madrid paved the way for signing Martin Odegaard. The club is targeting one of them, not both. Now, my problem with this, if Arsenal have two options, pay £65 million for James Madison, or take Martin Odegaard on loan with an option to buy, we all know what Arsenal are going to do. Because they're all about money. They're all about saving money. Even though Madison is better, in my opinion, in that role in the Premier League than Martin Odegaard because he scores more goals. He gets the ball forward quicker. I just don't see how Arsenal would reject Martin Odegaard on loan to pay 65 million for Madison. Even though me as a fan, I don't care about the money. I just think get Madison. I don't see how Arsenal would do that. They're just not that club. They're not that team. They're going to go, well, Odegaard, he's 23, he's been here before. We can get him on loan. We don't have to pay for him till next year. You know what's going to happen. Odegaard, I think he got 1 assist, 2 goals in 6 months. That is not enough. And remember, we were actually a lot better from Christmas. So it wasn't like that was Arsenal at their worst. He should have come out of that season with a little 4 goals, 4 assists. You know, those numbers are not enough, in my opinion, for Martin Odegaard. As I said, nothing to do with his talent, to do with the system and the players that are around him. Saving money for Ramsdale. I mean, these men are moving like Ramsdale is our marquee signing of the summer, you know? Curtis, you're a baller. Surely you don't rate Madison. I think he's good. I think he's a bit of a luxury player. I think when your back's against the wall, Madison is not ideal. What I do think, someone just put in the comments, is that I think he's got a spark. I think he can just make something happen out of nothing. He can just get the ball and bend it in the top corner. Even against Manchester City in the Community Shield, I see him on the ball, turn, 50-yard pass, opens up the City defence. I don't see that from Odegaard. So whilst I don't think Madison is worth 65, 70 million, whilst I don't think when your back's against the wall, he's an ideal player to have in your team, when you are actually on the front foot, this guy can pull something out of the bag and he scores and he takes set pieces. We are poor at set pieces. So for me, you giving me Madison or Odegaard, I'm going for Madison, people. Clive Gale said, Curtis, why is our so-called board showing more ambition? Because this can't continue because the fans will turn, and when they do after Chelsea and City, serve us a proper beating. What Arsenal are going to do, in my opinion, right? They're going to get Ramsdale. We're going to lose to Chelsea. We're going to lose to Man City. I think we'll have the international break after the City game. We'll have a couple days left of the window, and they'll panic buy somebody to try and please all of us, because there'll be 2 weeks of no game. They'll lean on the fact that we've signed somebody. We'll do a big unveiling like we did with Thomas Partey. There will be 10 interviews saying how good this player is who we've bought. They'll sell a few. The ones they'll get out will be on loan, in my opinion. They'll maybe sell one, couple on loan, and then we'll come back and beat Norwich after the international break and act like everything's rosy in the garden. We play Norwich at home after the internationals. Can see it happening now, and I'm sorry, I don't want to sound pessimistic. I find it very sad that Arsenal play Chelsea this Sunday, London derby, first home game of the season. A lot of fans haven't watched Arsenal in a stadium for over 18 months, including myself. You're charging £85 is the cheapest ticket you can get for an adult. Fans don't want to go. Over 15,000 tickets available. We're having to talk about a protest, and I've got absolutely zero confidence we can win the game. That is horrendous. That should not be happening. How can the fans feel like this after one game? We should be 3 months into the season if we were going to feel like this. It's a disgrace, as Drogba would say after a Champions League defeat against Barcelona. It's a disgrace. 85 quid, plus your petrol, plus your food, your drink, your parking. 120, 130 quid to watch Arsenal get beat by Chelsea, unveiling their £97 million striker that they've bought and their Champions League trophy that they've just won, while we finished 8th back-to-back and spent 75 million on 3 players that don't really improve our team, whilst trying to buy a goalkeeper from Sheffield United who've just been relegated. It's going to be toxic at the Emirates this weekend. Let me tell you that. For anybody who's going to that game, it will be toxic if they get beat, and if they get beat heavily as well. They're setting us up for failure. The least this bottle job board owner and manager can do is go and buy some proper players and at least look like you're trying to make something happen. Amazingly, despite how bad we are, a player like James Madison wants to come to Arsenal. Yeah, maybe he's using us for the London lifestyle and will double his wage and his profile will be bigger and his social media followers will go up by 1 million. But he wants to come to us. Take advantage of it. Give the fans an exciting signing. I'm watching Man United on Saturday. Raphael Varane walks out before the game. Raphael Varane, Champions League, World Cup winning centre-back, walks out before the game holding up the shirt. Did you see the atmosphere? See the way their fans was acting at that? Who we unveiling before the game? A new training kit. That's all we unveil. Training kits. Unveil a player before the Chelsea game. We ain't got no player to unveil. Pete said Stan's fancy in the parachute payments. I'm telling you. Big up my boy Big Steve in the chat, bro. Bro. Appreciate your super chat, bro. Don't. Do you know what, Steve? You got a lot to answer for. Because you know Steve last season was telling me, yeah, Arteta, stick with him. You know, he was a brilliant coach at Man City. He's been with Pep. Stick with him. He was in on the sabotage as well. I'm telling you, all them Man City fans, Pep, all of them. They sent Arteta here to ruin us. Any hope we had of recovery, this man Pep, that fraud's come here and finished us off. Steve, listen, you lot lost on the weekend, made life even more difficult for us, losing to Tottenham. Tell Pep, listen, man, take him back. Take him back, man. He probably needs him sitting next to him. We can't put up with not much more of this. Fill up the water bottles for Sterling and you know, Kyle Walker and them, man. Put the cones out for John Stones and them, man. Do your job. Just do your job, man. Simple and effective. Steve, I need to hit you up next week as well, bro. Manchester City preview via Arsenal next week. I'm gonna be in touch, bro. Let me know if you're about next week. Towards the end, I think we play you Saturday morning, 12:30. So Thursday, Friday. Let me know if you're about, bro. Keep up the great work on the Big Six as well, bro. Quality content. Glenn Farrell said we need a leader. There's no spine out there on the pitch. They need players that have been there, wore the t-shirt and bring to our team a driving force. We need someone to show the youth. Listen, bro, you've got to sign players that feel like this is a privilege. You've got to sign players that, yo, I'm at Arsenal. I'm so happy to be here. Despite how bad we are, sign players that want to be at your football club. Don't go and sign these players that feel like they're doing us a favour. Oh, okay, I'll go there then. But pay me double. Oh, you lot are rubbish. You know, I don't want that. Sick of seeing that. Willian. These garbage old washed up players. He's got Chelsea in his heart. I don't want them players. Bring upcoming, hungry players, powerful pace. I want pace. I'm sick of seeing Arsenal can't counter-attack. Hit teams with pace. Simple but effective. Pace. Pace is everything in the Premier League. It's the quickest league in the world. You have to have speed. I'm sick of seeing Pepe get one-on-one with fullbacks and start kicking his leg out like Michael Jackson. Run at him. Run at the man. 72 million for you to stand there shaking your leg. I can't take it. No, Aubameyang, come on. Aubameyang's being linked with Barcelona. Barcelona ain't buying Aubameyang. They can't. Listen, they've just let Messi go because of finances. They ain't about to give 300 grand to a 32-year-old. I think they have offered Coutinho in a swap, which makes no sense. Yeah, if anything, Arsenal take Coutinho on loan for a year and see if he can create something for Aubameyang. You don't do that kind of swap deal. You know, that deal makes absolutely no sense for Arsenal. You also get, well, who's Coutinho going to create for? Eddie Nketiah? Come on. Let's be serious. We got no pace on the counter-attack. We're slow. We're timid. Start driving at people, man. Pepe better start running at fullbacks. Man said, Chamon. I don't know what's going on with these, man. Odegaard equals Denilson. Oh, Denilson, the famous Denilson, the least looking Brazilian footballer we've seen. We thought he was Scottish the way he played. He didn't play. There was no flair in him. Who in our team is a true pro in their position? There's not many. Tierney, Thomas Partey. There aren't many others. Aubameyang when he was at it. No one else. Everyone looks like they're figuring themselves out. Leno. Leno's not good enough either. What can you do? What can you do about it? You know what I mean? This guy's throwing more barbecues than transfers. It's mad. He's moving mad. Let's move on, people. What else is going on in the world of Arsenal? I can't believe how long I've been going on. An hour and 40, people. Forgive me. I appreciate you all staying tuned. Over 3,250 people. The support is unreal. Smash a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. While we, wrap up. Barcelona have no interest in Aubameyang. Confirmed he's not even a target. No swap deal for Coutinho, says Fabrizio. There you go. They don't even want him. So he's going to be here. Let it off your chest. We have to, people. We have to. We got 2 bad games coming up, man. The watch along, I might have to wear sunglasses, man, so you can't see my eyes. I don't want to see it. I'm looking at a team. I heard a whisper that Ainsley Maitland-Niles is willing to play at right back this season. He's gone to West Brom. He's obviously seen the dark side of football, playing centre mid for Sam Allardyce. He's probably thought, you know what? Playing right back for Arsenal is not too bad. I personally think if we don't sign a right back, which for me is criminal, by the way, we should be signing a right back. I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles could be the best of a bad bunch. The way Mikel Arteta wants you to almost step into midfield when we attack, I think he could play that role for us. I think Cedric is our best right back after, if you're not going to play Ainsley. Callum Chambers is woeful. He's a centre-back playing right back. He's not good enough. Bellerin's finished. He's absolutely finished. We need to get rid of him. The only good thing with Cedric links up brilliant with Pepe. So I don't understand why he doesn't allow them to build that partnership. But I think Ainsley could play right back for Arsenal. I honestly do. I know he's played there before and people will say it doesn't really work. Maybe this could be the answer, as Vidic said. I said earlier, I do believe that 3-4-3 could be the answer for Arsenal moving forward. I wrote up a team here. This was with 4 at the back. Of a way how maybe we can get a bit more. I'm offering up a lot of problems. I do want to try and offer us a bit of a solution. Could this team, after the international break, when everyone's fit, I do think Martin Odegaard will be an Arsenal player by the time we play Norwich. Should this be our team moving forward? Don't get me wrong. I do think we should play 3 at the back, especially against the bigger teams. Maybe not against the lesser teams. What a song that was, by the way. Skepta, I'll wear my sunglasses at night. Yo, big tune. But anyway, could this be the team moving forward? Is this the best that we can muster together at the moment? I haven't put Martinelli in there just purely off the fact that, look, Saka got player of the season last year and Pepe's a £72 million player. ESR, I've taken him out, which is harsh. I'm just having the thought process that if we buy Odegaard from Real Madrid, we're not going to bench him. So I've just purely put De Bruyne on the bench. Croydon De Bruyne. Emile Smith-Rowe. I've put him on the bench because he's not a better winger than Saka or Pepe. Big track, by the way. You know about that track. Could we do anything with this team? I've put Sambi in there because for me, I'm sorry, I just don't want to see Granit Xhaka anywhere near this team. Or do we play 3 at the back? ESR 10. A lot of you are saying ESR for Pepe. Nah, man. I don't want ESR out wide. Odegaard over ESR. So a lot of you want ESR over him. I'm just saying from the fact if we pull Odegaard out of Real Madrid, they're not going to bench him. They may, knowing Arteta, he will play Saka on the right and drop Pepe. Put Odegaard in the middle and play Smith Rowe on the left. Listen, man, I'm telling you now, if we're going to achieve anything this season, in my opinion, we have got to find a way to get something out of Aubameyang. That is my opinion. I don't think we're in a position to just sack him off and say, he's done, get rid of him. They've got... every time a player is out of form, you can't just say he's rubbish, get rid of him. There has to be a time where you say, we've got to find a way to get more out of him. What is the problem? Are we playing him out of position? Are we not creating enough? Are we not getting bodies around him? What is the situation? So that's how I would go. Do you want Lingard at cam? No, I don't. Lack over Aubameyang because he does not suit the system and Pepe benched. I think Lacazette suits it more than Aubameyang, but I think they're trying to sell Lacazette. I honestly do. Out of form for a full season. Listen, he performed at 50%. If you look at the numbers. Aubameyang the 2 seasons before got 22 league goals. Last season, I think he got 10 or 11. So he's at about 50% of his usual level. I'm going to speak facts here in his defence. He got malaria and missed games. His mum got COVID badly. Those 2 things will affect you. He also played in a terrible system. But I do have to admit, he was awful last season. I'm only defending him so much. He was awful. What I will say, play him up front, create chances, get people around him. If he's missing chances then, bin him. Bin him. Because you're doing the best for him. And then he is failing you. The same way I said, the board doing the best for Arteta. Or is Arteta doing the best for himself? He's got to be in a situation that's set up for him to succeed. He can't play left wing in this system. He can't dribble. He's not a winger. So I hear you. He wasn't good last year. And goals don't paint the full picture because there were times last season I was shouting at the screen at how lazy he was being. 11 at the back against Chelsea, I'm telling you. We might have to. Let's set up in the 3-4-3. Now, I'm going to have to move these players around, so forgive me, people. Let me, so Gabriel, let me move this around. 2 centre mids. Let me sort this mess out. Aubameyang, Pepe, Saka. So we would go, I would go with this. I'm taking over as manager. Arteta has been sacked. I'd play, Tierney's got to be left centre back, actually. So we'll go Tierney left centre back. We go Gabriel central. We go Ben White right centre back, which is where he played for Bournemouth. So there's your back 3. You have Sambi and Partey in the middle. There's your 2. Energetic, mobile. And then your wing backs go Saka. I think he gets up and down. What's going on here? They ain't even got him on there. Bukayo. Go Bukayo on the left. And Ainsley as a wing back. I think he can play that role well. Did it in the FA Cup run. The only thing with this system, the problem you've got with this system, you've got no number 10. So if you sign Odegaard, where do you play him? If you've got Smith Rowe, where do you play him? I'm going Pepe. Less defensive responsibility. And then you've got a choice, Martinelli or Smith Rowe on the left. Curtis Shaw in Arteta, I agree. Let me know, people. Who would you play on the left? And what do you think of this team? What would you change? 5 in midfield. You'd play Tierney left wing back, Saka right wing back, Smith Rowe, Pepe and Aubameyang. A lot of people seem to see Martinelli any day. If Leicester can cater to Vardy, we should be doing the same for Aubameyang. 100%. People saying 3-5-2. and play 2 up front. Now, that is interesting because then you can play a 10. That is interesting. Now, let me look at the 3-5-2 and see how we could do it. Arteta, you need to watch this, mate. I could be saving your job here. I mean, you could even play Pepe up front, but you could actually play Lacazette and Thingy up front, but you would never do that. They're too scared to play that. You would take Ainsley out, and then you play... I mean, it's so attacking. Bakayo. Then we go Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe. I mean, look, I wouldn't mind that. I would not mind that. I would not mind that. The only thing is that Pepe, yeah, Pepe's getting ruined. Yeah, Pepe can't play wing back. He's not tracking back. 3-5-2 is good, but Pepe can't play. You could play Pepe up front. You could play Pepe up front, to be fair. Listen, he's got options, but this guy don't want to change. This guy don't want to change. That's the problem. Aubameyang and Pepe up top, yeah. No, that could be the shout. You can't play Pepe wing back. He ain't got the engine for that. I would actually like to see Pepe up front, you know, and see how he got on. Who would you play right wing back? You'd have to see it's Ainsley again, innit? We ain't got a right-sided wing back, really. That's the problem. But he's got options. He needs to do something else. Tavares, yeah, Tavares could be the one, actually. You know, he's got that engine as well. But it is what it is. People, there you go. Mikel Arteta, if you're watching, I'm giving you options here. Play 3-4-3 against Chelsea, man. You got to be defensively solid. Because I genuinely think we could get hammered on Sunday if we don't pick the right system. That people saying the Athletic are talking about and Ramsdale having initially asked for 35 million. Sheffield United are prepared to accept a deal that will start with an initial fee of 24 million. So see how different people are reporting it different. Earlier on, it said 20 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Now it's saying 24 million plus add-ons. So we're getting absolutely bumped anyway. 3-4-3 is not a defensive formation. You use it to counter-attack. You get the ball. Look at the way we used to play out against City when we scored, against Liverpool in the Community Shield. Played out from the back, hit them on the counter-attack. Aubameyang, he was living that life when he was in that team. Conte, sure, we're free at the back. I'm telling you, bro, that's what we got to go with. We can't play 4 at the back right now. We got no Gabriel as well. So it ain't going to work, you know? But people, it's been an epic one. It's been a real good one. Really appreciate all your support today on the channel. We've been going an hour and 51 minutes, man. What a long show we've done. Over 3,000 of you in here. Tammy has signed for Roma, so he won't be coming to Arsenal. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ghost said, yo, Curtis, I'm addicted to your channel now. Good stuff. Big up, C. Big up, bro. We're going to have a couple of guests on this week as well, just to break it up a little bit. And obviously, we'll be doing a watch-along for Arsenal. I will be at the protest on Sunday as well. For anybody who's going to be there, man, let's interact. Let's speak. If you're there, give me a shout. I'll be down there with Robbie and everyone down there. So I'm going to go to the watch. I'm going to go to the protest, jump in the car, get back here quick and do the watch along for the Arsenal-Chelsea game. I will be selling my ticket. So I've got no interest in going to watch Lukaku slap us all over the place, people. AFSAR said, I don't mind another hour. Listen, we'll try and break some records, man. I'm sure we'll end up doing a 3-hour stream at some stage. Listen, people, enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you subscribe, like the video on the way out. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm sure we'll have lots more headlines to talk about. Enjoy the rest of your day, people, and I will see you tomorrow. Bless.